Heaven has waited for you to pause. There is a stirring in the air, faint but undeniable. Not the kind that rustles leaves or shifts curtains, but one that moves the soul in stillness. You've felt it too, haven't you? Not with your hands, but with the weight behind your breath. Not in your ears, but in the silence that lingers between conversations. Not in your eyes, but in that unshakable sense that something unseen is pressing in, gently but urgently. It is not your imagination. It is not coincidence. It is not anxiety or fatigue. It is heaven speaking. And today, before the sun withdraws its final light, something sacred will be revealed to you, a truth that was never meant for you to carry alone. This message does not come from memory. It arrives through the voice of Archangel Michael, sent to stand where your logic falters and your spirit begins. He has been present, brushing past you in the night, interrupting your rest with tremors that felt like dreams but were divine disruptions. You thought it was restlessness, but it was a visitation. You thought it was sorrow, but it was warning. And now the veil is thin. Heaven will wait no longer. The whispers are turning to thunder. Michael is not knocking gently anymore. He is calling your name. There is a soul tethered to you by invisible threads of history and emotion, whose time is drawing near. They are fading, not just in body, but in voice, and they carry something meant for you, a key, a sentence, a truth buried under years of silence. Before they leave, God says, they must speak it, and you must receive it, because what they hold unlocks something that has held you bound far too long. Let this settle within you. The wind will shift again soon. You asked. I am answering now. The ache in your chest, that wasn't just heartache. The nights you stared at the ceiling, eyes open but spirit closed. Those were not accidents. Every time you whispered into the dark, God, why does this still hurt? Heaven heard. And now the answer is arriving, not in thunder or fire, but in a sacred unraveling. Archangel Michael has watched you wrestle with shadows that had no names. He's watched as you tried to piece together a story that never quite made sense. A story with missing pages, blurred lines, and a silence that grew louder than any voice. But he also saw something else. A person. Someone once close to you. Someone who stood beside you and then slipped away. Maybe through death. Maybe through distance. Maybe through secrets. This person has lived with a truth not just about themselves, but about you. And now, with breath thinning and time unraveling, they are ready to speak. Not because they are brave, but because grace is forcing the door open before it's sealed shut forever. You may not recognize the signs at first. They may not confess with a grand gesture. It might come as a pause, a tear, a trembling word over a phone call, a sudden letter, a strange dream, or even a subtle urge to reach out to someone you hadn't thought of in years. That's not your subconscious. That's the Holy Spirit moving. That's Michael pushing through your distractions. Heaven's schedule does not bend to comfort. It bends to purpose, and that purpose is now. You don't have to be ready. You just have to be willing. I will return. Stay open. The voice is coming. Do you feel the stillness stretching inside you? It's not just the quiet around you. It's the quiet within you that holds something sacred. That hush, that subtle pause in the rhythm of your day. It's not empty. It's holy. Heaven is speaking in this stillness. And Archangel Michael stands at the threshold between worlds, sword lowered, eyes fixed on the soul whose silence has kept you in chains for far too long. There is someone whose story is entwined with yours, and yet a part of their truth was hidden, buried beneath layers of guilt, fear, or pride. You've tried to move on. You've told yourself the past is done, but unfinished stories don't rest. They rattle in your bones. They echo in your dreams. God says the time has come for that echo to become a voice. This person, the one you loved, or still love, or never fully understood, has been carrying something too heavy for them to bear into eternity. A confession, a message, a fragment of divine assignment they were meant to hand over to you. And now the veil between realms is growing thinner by the minute. Their soul knows the moment is near, their body may be failing, their spirit may be drifting, but their heart is anchored, still waiting for you. Not to fix them, not to save them, but to listen. Because within their final truth is the beginning of your next chapter. This seed will bloom in time. Keep listening. I am not far. You were never alone, even when it felt like it. Even in the hollowest nights, when your heart beat like a question against your chest, you were not abandoned. Archangel Michael stood watch. And God was collecting your tears like sacred oil. You didn't know it then, but something was forming in the silence. Something was being prepared in the background. A divine intersection between your healing and someone else's confession. That moment has arrived. There is someone who once mattered to you more than you let yourself admit. They were tangled in your story, perhaps as family, perhaps as friend, perhaps as a love that never found the right words. And something they've held back is something your spirit has always sensed. Have you not noticed the shift in the air when you think of them? The strange timing of their name appearing in your mind? The heavy pull in your chest when a memory resurfaces unexpectedly? That is not nostalgia. That is divine preparation. They are preparing to let go of something they've clutched for years. Maybe out of fear, maybe out of shame, but no more. Heaven is pressing them. Michael has visited them too, in dreams, in moments of deep unrest. They may not understand what's happening, but their soul does. And your heart is the vessel that must receive this sacred release. This is not about bitterness. It's not about blame. It's about release. It's about restoring what should never have been buried. Breathe and carry this with you. There is more to come. Not everything can be explained, but it can be felt. There are moments when language fails, when words feel too small for the weight of the soul. This is one of those moments. What's coming to you is not just a message. It's not just a conversation. It's a soul release, an untangling of threads that have bound you and another for years, maybe decades. And it will not arrive like lightning. It will come softly, in the way a window opens just before a storm breaks, in the way a heart begins to tremble when truth draws near. The person tied to this moment may not know how to say what they've carried. Their voice may crack, their sentences may wander. But listen closely. Listen with your spirit, not your ears. Because within their broken phrases lies your missing piece. This truth, long buried, long silenced, will explain the heaviness you felt, the confusion that clung to decisions you made, the fog that wrapped around your identity. And when they speak, a door will open, a spiritual door that no man can shut. God says this is the moment He's been aligning for years. And though it may feel sudden to you, heaven has waited for it. This is not just about healing your heart. It's about aligning your destiny, about restoring the clarity that was stolen from you when silence replaced truth. Archangel Michael stands beside you even now, shield raised, making sure nothing distracts you from this sacred encounter. Let the veil fall. Let the truth rise. You may not understand now, but you will. The air is shifting. Stay present. Before the stars knew your name, I did. Long before this moment arrived, before you knew pain, before time carved sorrow into your memory, you were chosen for this. This moment is not random, it is sacred, written in the scrolls of heaven, sealed with divine purpose, and delivered in perfect time. The person tethered to your soul, they were always meant to cross your path. But something fractured. Pride, fear, a mistake, a silence that grew louder than love. And now they are standing at the edge of eternity. Whether their body is weakening or their spirit is slipping quietly through the seams of the world, they know the hour is near. But there is something they cannot take with them, a truth, a hidden detail about you, about your origin, your inheritance, your path, your name in the spirit realm. It was never meant to die with them. God says they were not just part of your past, they were a messenger. But they were afraid, and that fear cost you years of clarity. No more delays. The veil is thin. The spiritual air is charged, and Michael is standing guard, not to fight, but to hold the space open long enough for this final transmission to pass through. Will you be open? Will you receive it? Because when this truth is spoken, your identity will realign, your future will expand, and every locked door will begin to shift. Rest now, beloved. The light is beginning to return. There's something sacred in your silence. Not all awakenings begin with thunder. Some begin with a breath, a pause, a subtle realization that the atmosphere around you has changed. Right now, the heavens are still, not because they are distant, but because they are listening. The angels are holding their breath. Michael stands watch, and the Spirit of God is waiting for one thing: your heart to say yes. There is a soul who cannot find peace, not because they haven't tried, but because they never told the truth. And that truth involves you. You may have wondered why certain relationships unraveled, why memories haunt you at random, why a name keeps returning like a tide that won't recede. It's because you were never meant to live with this unfinished thread. And now, heaven is giving you the chance to tie it, gently, firmly, eternally. The person who holds this secret may not even know they've wounded you. Or maybe they do, and the weight of that knowledge has been too heavy to speak aloud until now. God is not asking you to fix them. He is asking you to hold space, to be the place where truth can finally land. What they say may not come out clearly. It may be tangled in tears, guilt, or trembling, but your spirit will know what they're trying to say. Let your discernment lead. Let compassion be your compass. Because this moment is not about closure. It's about release. For them and for you. You are held. You are heard. Let the next word come when it's ready. This moment is not random. Even the breath you just took was timed. Not by chance, not by accident, but by eternity. God has counted the steps that brought you here and the one who carries your missing truth. They were positioned in your life long ago with a sacred responsibility they never fulfilled. Maybe they were afraid. Maybe they were told it was better to stay silent. Maybe they believed that speaking would break everything, but what they didn't realize is that not speaking fractured the very foundation of your spirit. And now their silence has become a storm that has been echoing in your dreams, tightening in your chest, showing up in your prayers. But heaven has made a way, one final window. Michael is here, not whispering, declaring. This conversation, whether spoken face to face, over the phone, through a letter, a dream, or even through a stranger's words, is ordained. When it arrives, it may come cloaked in confusion. Don't be alarmed. That's what truth looks like when it finally breaks free from decades of silence. And when the words are spoken, something in the atmosphere will shift. You'll feel it. The air will lighten. Your body may tremble. Your heart may ache. But you will finally know you were never forgotten. This person was sent with a message for your soul. And now, at the edge of breath, they are ready to deliver it. Let this settle within your spirit. The next sound may be sacred. You've felt this before, haven't you? That mysterious pull towards someone you thought was gone, the sudden urge to revisit a memory you buried, the sense that something was unfinished, something sacred, still waiting. It wasn't random. It wasn't nostalgia. It was divine memory calling out. God has been writing this moment into your life since before you had language for loss. And now the time has come. The one who holds this missing piece. They are closer to crossing the veil than you realize, and with them is a truth that was meant to break your chains. You've asked heaven why your heart still aches, why peace feels just out of reach, why a part of you feels frozen in a moment you can't explain. This is why. Because the message was delayed, because they were not ready, but now they are. They may appear strong on the outside, but inside their soul is unraveling. They feel the pressure. They feel the angels pressing close. Michael has been hovering, not with wrath, but with fierce mercy, urging them to speak. And now he is urging you to listen. When they open their mouth, even if the words are clumsy, receive them. Don't rush. Don't explain away their hesitation. Just be. Because your stillness will give them the courage to continue. And when the message lands, you will feel the divine ripple it carries. not just for your life, but for generations that come after you. This is not about the past anymore. This is about legacy, about spiritual alignment, about light breaking the silence. We are not done. Stay near. The final word approaches. Beloved soul, heaven is still. Still, because something holy is unfolding. Still, because a divine exchange is about to occur. Still, because the angels have drawn near to witness your obedience. The moment is now. The person who carries your unspoken truth, they may whisper it through trembling lips. They may weep. They may barely get the words out. Or they may pass it through a letter, a memory, or the sudden weight of a dream. However it comes, you will know. Not by sound, but by the stillness that surrounds it. When it reaches you, do not doubt. Do not push it away. Let it wash over you. Let it break you open if it must. Because what's being released was never meant to remain hidden. It was always meant to set you free. And freedom, beloved, is what God has always wanted for you. Not just comfort, not just peace, but freedom from confusion, from brokenness, from the curse of unspoken things. This truth may explain the pain. It may redeem the silence. It may restore your name in the spirit realm. And after it's spoken, the light will return. Not a flash, not a spotlight, but a soft, holy glow that warms the very center of your being. You will breathe again. You will weep, not from sorrow, but from the relief of knowing God did not forget. He never forgot. Archangel Michael stands behind you still, sword lowered, head bowed, mission complete. And heaven sings, not because it is over, but because it has just begun. Go now, child of light. The chains are broken. The path is clear. And the blessing has already begun.